Hi, my name is Mary Lynn and we're here in my personal studio. Today I'm going to show you how to serge up a raglan sleeve t-shirt and show you some professional tips for finishing. Here's the layout on our raglan sleeve t-shirt. I'm going to do a contrasting sleeve in a different color. So we are going to serge the sleeve onto the armhole right here, front and back, but leave one opening and I'll show you why. So I just serged the dart in the sleeve, neck, and now I'm going to match up the backs. See how they fit right here? I'm going to take this and serge that seam. Just keep the edges, the raw edges even while you're serging. You don't have to pin it. I don't like to pin it, that's just an extra step. Okay, so there's my sleeve on the back, and here's the next sleeve right here. This thread you're seeing right here is a basting stitch because my sleeve knit was a little bit too thin, so I put 2 layers together and basted it. Okay, now I have the sleeve sewn onto the back piece, the back of the shirt, and I'm going to attach the front on just one sleeve, and then I'm going to do the neck. So here's my front right sides together. We're going to serge this seam right here. I used a pattern with normal seam width, and so I'm cutting off about 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so I have my sleeves sewn onto the back, both sides, and I started the front. Now this is going to get serged right here, this sleeve, right here, but I want to put my neck on first before I close this seam. So I cut this neck piece with the greatest stretch going this way, and it's 2 inches wide. We're gonna serge it along the neck, starting at the sleeve. We're gonna put right sides together. Start my neck right here, and I'm going to stretch it as I serge it on. It doesn't have to be a lot as I stretch it, but I'm going to be stretching it as I serge it on. So I've got all the layers caught up in the stitching right there. And now I'm going to gently just stretch the neck piece. As I serge it all the way around. Okay, so I've got my neck piece serged all the way around, and now I can bring this sleeve to the front and serge this armhole together. And I'm gonna start down here matching up this seam that I just stitched with the neck, and I'm gonna just serge all the way to the edge. We can trim this off. So I'm taking and sewing the last armhole all the way through to the neck that I just serged on. want to make sure the seam allowance goes towards the neckband. So my neckband matches up at the shoulder seam. So that gives me a little bit of a cinched in at the neck. Now I'm going to serge this edge and finish it by top stitching it down. So if I top stitch it down and only want a skinny neckband, I'm going to serge off probably that much. So I'll show you. So I've serged all the way around, and now I'm going to top stitch this, and I can top stitch it on a, it's not going to stretch much, but I can top stitch it on a regular straight stitch or a cover stitch machine. But we'll go to the next step, which is serging up the side seams. We start at the bottom and we line up the armhole, and we're going to serge the whole side seam through the sleeve. This is called the flat construction method because I'm assembling this whole piece together flat before I sew it together. Match up these underarm seams. To reduce some of the bulk right here at the underarm, you can make one seam go down, one seam go this way, just to reduce some of that bulk. Now I've got this whole side seam serged in with the sleeve. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. I cut my front a little bit shorter than the back, so when I go to hem this, I will even this out right here. Match up the raw edge. So this is the wrong side of the shirt. I've got my neck piece on, got my side seams stitched, serged up, and now we just have to hem it at the bottom, at the sleeve, and at the neck. Okay, now we're going to turn it right side out. I'm at my straight stitch machine, and yes, I like old machines because they work great. And here's my neck that I'm going to now fold down and top stitch. I can top stitch right there at close to the edge, or just past in the ditch, stitched in the ditch, if you like it that way, but I like it top stitched, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start at my seam right here, fold it down so that this serged edge I just finished is going to cover all of the serging I just did at the neck. And you can stretch it a little bit, but you don't need to. So I'm just top stitching right past the fold. Okay, I'm back to the beginning. Trim the threads close to stitching. And knits always look better after you press them. So this is how my neck looks before I press it. Now we're going to go to the iron and press it. So my neck now is cinched in a little bit, but I don't want it to gather at all right there. So when I press, I'm going to steam it. And then I'm going to turn it wrong side out and press the seam allowances flat. This also sets your stitching by pressing the net. Go all the way around that sleeve that we just put in. And when we get to the neck, make sure our threads are trimmed. And we are going to press that neck at the sleeve. Stitch the other side of the sleeve. Press it. Let's go to the other side seam. Here's the other shoulder dart with my neck. Press it all flat. Okay. Now all that's left to do is hem it. Hem the sleeve, hem the bottom of the shirt. And here's our Raglan sleeve t-shirt. With the self fabric neck finish. So here's our Raglan sleeve t-shirt. Now we just need to start by serging the bottom. This hem on this is a slight curve. It's not a big curve. It's not straight. And we're going to serge the bottom of the sleeve across.